Hi everyone. It is me, Luna here, and today we're going to talk about, why did we start, how it is being Sailor Moon Serena's keeper cat. Now, keep in mind I met Serena in 9 between 92 YL in the Deke world, and I've been with her ever since. Now, a lot of folks will bring up about how Serena met me, and almost every telling of Sailor Moon, Serena always seems to meets me. Now, in Deke's world, she met me after some kids were being mean to me, beating me up, and then put some stickers over my forehead. Why? Who knows? It never comes up anymore. And who knows why folks did that for. Now, a lot of folks out there most likely may have thought that Deke would have cleaned that out, or cut that out, or skimmed it in some way. But they did not. They chose to keep it in. And the only guess is why they chose to keep it in, because you really can't see what they're doing, Now, if you overlook that little thing, me getting Serena to take being Sailor Moon more earnest that she wasn't. And keep in mind, when I first met Serena, she was a 4-between-year-old who really, didn't really want to be a sailor, didn't really want to be an over-good doer in the beginning. I don't really think it was her calling in the beginning to be Sailor Moon. She goes through most of her life not even knowing that she is Sailor Moon, that she was newly born of, Aldeling Serena or Serenity, whatever you want to call her. So yeah, and a lot of folks do scathe her, but you would think that even that 4-between-year-old, she would learn how to take things earnest. And over all those years, she does get bolder. She does become more answerable to things. First, it was hard enough getting her to believe that she was Sailor Moon. Then it got hard for me to keep her doing, the right thing. Because as the show goes on, a lot of folks gave her for not growing up, but she does grow up. Yeah, she does. But a lot of folks do scathe it for, how, and say, well, she's behaving like anyone would when they're that young. A lot of folks, don't like to take, learn earnest. Some of them don't like to, do work around the house. Some just like, to, be lazy, I guess. So a lot of times I had to get Serena to take it more earnest, and she did. I mean, what? She went from 9 between 92 YL to, I'm going to say, it would have been 9 between 5 or at 6 at the latest, if you're talking about R and S and SS. As you know, Cloverway, Deke, Cloverway, Pioneer, whatever, they never got to work with Sailor Star, so your guess is good as mine how that would have worked out. And it's not, and a lot of folks out there like to, say, oh, well, Luna, you must have had it hard all those years. That you had it hard all those years, looking after Sailor Moon. Serena, whatever, yeah. And it, And a lot of folks out there would think that, thought that, and a lot of folks out there would have thought that I would have given up on her, but I never did. The first years, yeah. A lot of folks like to scave Serena for, not being grown up right away, or not being bold or fearless right away. Or mostly, running, not being, the greatest fighter out there. Well, keep in mind, up until then, she really didn't have to fight. And up until then, she really never had to deal with, folks from the 4-1 Bonds of Evil, like the Dark Kingdom or the Doom Tree Outsiders, or the Black Moonkin or the Deathbringers, or the Dead Moon Big Top, or any, any of those other folks from the 3 films. So yeah, it was going to be whatever it was going to be. But she does grow up. She does get more bolder over time. Unlike Usagi from the Viz world, who seems to really start all over, which seems every start of those 5 followings in her world, she seems to go way start all over again. But then again, Serena and Usagi are 2 unlike folks from 2 unlike worlds. And they're not the same fellow, all right? Not the same soul or being or fellow or woman or whatever. At the end of the day, yeah, Serena is still a handful even after all these years later. And before I end this film, some folks out there might think, oh, well, she becomes young Queen Serenity of the New Moon, New Earth Kingdom, right? Or New Heaven or whatever. And yeah, well, I still got it. Yeah. And she's still a handful. A lot of folks like to think that, well, she's all grown up now. Yeah, she is. But sometimes she is still a ditz and a klutz and a sob baby. That of her, that never went away. But being Sailor Moon more earnest, being more bolder, that, yeah, she shifted over all those years. So that's just, talking about putting up with Sailor Moon or dealing with Sailor Moon or Sailor Moon Serena growing up and, tell me what you think about it. I, Luna, and I'll see you later.